ADAUGO was known in her village for her beauty and her vivid imagination. On quiet evenings, she would often take long walks into the village's nearby forests, soaking in the beauty of nature, weaving dreams out of the forest's whispers. One evening, she wandered farther than usual. Her gaze fell upon an enormous tree standing alone in a clearing. The tree is taller than any other tree around. Its bark was smooth and its branches stretched wide, cradling the sunlight. There was a kind of beauty in it that left her breathless, a strange allure she couldn't understand. She stared at the tree, entranced, and she whispered to the tree, "If only you were a man, a handsome man, strong and kind, perhaps then I would not feel so alone." After she snapped out of her daydreaming, feeling foolish yet longing for something more than the solitude she is used to, she brushed the thoughts away with a small laugh as she took her leave. A breeze whispered through the branches, carrying her words into the depths of the forest. That night, ADAUGO laid restless in her bed, haunted by the tree's image. It was as though she could feel its presence outside her window, watching her through the moonlight. She shook off the eerie feeling and finally drifted into a dream land. In her dreams, she was no longer alone. She danced with a tall, dark figure with eyes like deep pools, his skin as smooth as the tree's bark, his presence calming yet unsettling. He held her close, and she felt her heart stir with an unfamiliar excitement. The following morning, she woke up with a strange sense of anticipation. ADAUGO went by her day but found her thoughts returning to the tree. She decided to return that evening, hoping to shake the strange spell it had casted over her. As she approached the tree, she froze. There, standing by its roots, was a man, a tall, striking figure with dark, shimmery skin and eyes that seemed to look straight into her soul, the same man from her dream. Who are you?" ADAUGO stammered, with her heart pounding. The man smiled. "I am here because you wished for me," he replied, his voice rich like the forest song. She felt drawn to him, unable to resist the pull. Tentatively, she took his hand, feeling a warmth that soothed her fears. After that, they spent hours talking, sharing secrets beneath the ancient tree, and she felt as if she had known him her whole life. Days turned into weeks, and ADAUGO found herself increasingly consumed by her new companion, who called himself Eze. They wandered the forest together, and she thought she had finally found the love she had dreamt of. But something about Eze was unsettling. He would sometimes disappear without a word, only to return with a shadowed intensity in his eyes, a silence that chilled her. He would speak in riddles, his voice carrying an undercurrent of warning that she didn't fully understand. One evening, as they sat beneath the tree, She gathered her courage and asked, "Where do you go when you leave me?" Eze looked away, a sadness flitting across his face. "You wished for a lover, ADAUGO, but I am not like you," he murmured. "My roots lie deep within this forest, within this tree. I am bound to it as much as I am to you." ADAUGO felt a shiver run through her. She hadn't considered the cost of her wish, the hidden ties that bound him to something beyond her world. Later that night, she followed him as he disappeared into the forest. She watched from the shadows as he approached the great tree, placing his hand on its trunk. To her horror, she saw his skin begin to melt with the bark, his form becoming one with the tree, as if his very essence was seeping back into it. She gasped, and Eze turned, his face filled with a sorrow she had never seen. "This is what I am, ADAUGO," he said softly, "a spirit bound to the earth. You wished for a man, but I am only a shadow of one." ADAUGO stumbled back, her mind reeling. The man she had fallen in love with was nothing more than an illusion, a temporary shape borrowed from the forest itself. Her wish had not brought her a real lover, but a being bound to ancient forces she could never fully understand. She realized too late that her desire had pulled him from his realm, disrupting a balance she had never meant to disturb. As the days wore on, ADAUGO felt the weight of her mistake pressing down on her. Eze grew distant, his presence fading like a mist. Each time she reached out to him, he would watch her with a longing that tore at her heart. But she could see that he was bound by forces stronger than her love. She began to fear him, not because he had done anything to harm her, but because she could feel the darkness of the forest growing around them, like a shroud woven from shadows. One night, she could bear it no longer. "I am sorry," she whispered to him, tears streaming down her face. "I should never have wished for you." Eze placed a hand on her cheek. "Wishes have power, ADAUGO. They often come with a price, too." With those words, he faded into the darkness, merging with the trees, leaving her standing alone under the starless sky. Days passed, and ADAUGO felt the loss of him in every quiet moment. She returned to the forest each night, hoping he would return, yet fearing the shadows that seemed to watch her with hungry eyes. She realized that she had opened a door to something beyond her understanding, something that had left a part of itself within her heart and her soul. The villagers noticed her frequent visits to the forest and her often talking to someone they cannot see. They began to whisper about her, saying that she had been touched by spirits, that the forest had claimed her in ways they could not understand. In time, ADAUGO came to understand the moral of her own tale. Some desires were better left unspoken. Some dreams are meant to remain in the realm of fantasy. She had wished for love, but found herself bound to an ancient sorrow, a haunting reminder that her words have power she had not anticipated. She learned too late that nature was filled with mysteries and spirits beyond human grasp, and that to summon them was to invite both wonders and dread into her life. From that day onward, ADAUGO carried her lessons in silence. She never spoke of Eze, never whispered her heart's desires to the trees. Instead, she walked through the forest quietly, knowing that some wishes were better left unmade, for the cost of their fulfillment could turn even the most beautiful dreams into a nightmare. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Please subscribe, like, and share, and see you guys next time. Thank you.